What's happening, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome back to a brand new episode of The Drop, the weekly show where I let you know the hottest games coming out across the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the PC, the Switch, whatever they might be coming out on, we will talk about them all right here. This week, a very interesting week, because as compared to last week, our headliner might not be as flashy, but it is a very interesting game because it was originally released in 2004, came out on the original Xbox, but only in Japan. That's right, Metal Wolf Chaos is getting a re-release as Metal Wolf Chaos XD. So we will talk more about that. We've got Subdivision Infinity DX, a very cool looking arcade shooter. Then we have Pillars of Eternity Complete Edition on the Nintendo Switch and more. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this week's top video game releases. To kick things off this week, we have Metal Wolf Chaos XD coming out on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC. The country is in peril as President Michael Wilson defends the nation against a full-scale rebellion led by Vice President Richard Hawke and the mechanized legions he commands. As the 47th President of the United States, it is your sworn duty to take your country back by any means necessary and end this unjust coup d'etat. Battle in your advanced mech armed to the teeth across iconic American landscapes, including the Brooklyn Bridge, the Grand Canyon, and even the front steps of the White House. From Software originally released Metal Wolf Chaos in December 2004, appearing exclusively on the original Xbox and only in Japan. The game went on to become somewhat of a legend as it was hard to acquire and even harder to play outside of Japan, with most fans' experience of the game through YouTube videos and the occasional screenshot. Devolver Digital and From Software have partnered together with developer General Arcade to modernize Metal Wolf Chaos with updates to the game including upgraded visual fidelity, refined controls and gameplay, a new save system, and 4K plus 16:9 support for modern displays. So as the description says, this game is somewhat of a legend. I've never actually had my hands on it, but I did learn about the game through Metal Jesus Rocks, a retro YouTuber here on the site that does an incredible job covering some of those little niche games such as Metal Wolf Chaos. But the entire idea of the game is what really appeals to me, where the president and the vice president are duking it out in mechs, trying to essentially control the. It's such a strange game, and one that never did get the publicity it deserves because of the weird way it was released back in 2004. So now, with Devolver partnering with From Software, I think we're finally going to be getting a fantastic version of the game, and I have seen a lot of people getting excited about this one. So if you do want to pick up somewhat of a niche cult classic that has been modernized and brought forward, you can check out Metal Wolf Chaos XD when it comes out this week on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC. Next up, we have Subdivision Infinity DX coming out on the PS4, the Xbox One, the Switch, and the PC. The story begins when contractor Sergeant Jed Riddle is brought in to investigate a mining facility that has mysteriously gone radio silent. A tense shootout ensues, leading Riddle to take a closer look into what exactly is going on and the dark secrets lurking in the shadows. Beyond the core narrative and exhilarating feeling of piloting a nimble spacecraft on the fringes of the galaxy, Subdivision Infinity DX features an array of optional content to allow players to explore the stars to their heart's content while taking on bounties, mining asteroids for rare minerals, unlocking new ships, and crafting increasingly powerful upgrades along the way. Step into the cockpit of an intergalactic fighter and explore the great expanses of outer space. With more than 30 engaging story missions and side quests spanning several star systems, Subdivision Infinity is an action-packed journey brimming with dogfights, boss battles, and more set against the stunning wild outer reaches of the cosmos. The gameplay of this game looks very much so like the space battles from the original version of Star Wars Battlefront 2 that came out back on the Xbox, the PlayStation 2, that generation. That is the vibe that I'm getting from Subdivision Infinity DX, and that's not a bad thing at all, because it looks very welcoming and it looks fun at the end of the day. It looks like a fun, light-hearted arcade game, but on top of that, there is this certain level of gravity that comes with it, no pun intended. The enemies come at you fast from all angles. There are, of course, giant boss fights, etc., tons of gameplay mechanics that do keep things fresh and upbeat. But on top of that, there are collectibles. On top of that, the ship customization is very in-depth. You can play a ton of this game, and you never see the same thing twice. A very, very cool-looking space shooter, if I did have to classify what this one actually is. But if you do want to pick up Subdivision Infinity DX, it's coming out this week on the PS4, the Xbox One, the Switch, and the PC. Next up, take your party on the ultimate role-playing experience with Pillars of Eternity coming to the Nintendo Switch this week. Created by the masters at Obsidian Entertainment, Pillars of Eternity released to critical acclaim and dozens of awards on PC. Now, the fantastical world, tactical combat, and unforgettable storyline can be taken anywhere you go. Pillars of Eternity Complete Edition includes all of the additional DLC content from the PC version and the expansions as well. The game has been optimized to play comfortably in front of your TV with controllers or in handheld mode. Easily navigate the game's detailed character creation, real-time with pause combat, and party management thanks to thoughtful updates to UI and controls. Gather your party, venture forth, and embrace adventure as you delve into a realm of wonder, nostalgia, and the excitement of classic RPGs with Obsidian's Pillars of Eternity. So of course, Pillars of Eternity, a legend in its own right in the PC space, a very impressive game that has a huge cult following, and I wouldn't even say cult, it's a really mainstream game, even in 2019. But if you want to check it out this week on the Nintendo Switch, it is going to be coming out. Of course, as you would expect if you have been following the channel for a while, not really my cup of tea, but a ton of people love this one, and I know a lot of people are going to be glad to see it coming to the Nintendo Switch. To round out today's games, we have DC Universe Online coming out on the Nintendo Switch. Your character, our universe. Create your own superhero or supervillain in DC Universe Online. DCU Online is now on the Nintendo Switch. Join thousands of other players in this free-to-play, massively multiplayer online action game set in the popular DC Universe. Channel your inner hero or villain by creating a unique customizable character with a variety of superpowers, and experience thrilling, fast-paced battles alongside and against DC characters, including Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, the Joker, and more. Explore immersive, story-driven adventures in Gotham City, Metropolis, Titans Island, Themyscira? Oh my god, I have no idea what that place is. It sounds terrifying. Atlantis, and many other famous DC locations. DC Universe Online is the game that just keeps on coming because it originally came out on the PS3 and the Xbox 360 as well as the PC back in 2011, I believe. And since then, of course, it has come to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. The updates have continued to roll out on PC, and the game just seems to not want to die. Tons of people still want to continue playing the game, and now this week we see it coming out on the Nintendo Switch. Of course, not really my cup of tea. I'm not a big DC guy, never really have been, more of a Marvel man myself, but if you are a big fan of DC and if you love DCU Online, I have good news for you. It's coming out this week on Nintendo's little handheld hybrid console. And to round out today's show, we have some honorable mentions, which includes an entire list of Nintendo Switch ports that I think are worth letting you guys know about. Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition is coming out on the Nintendo Switch alongside Turret 2 Seeds of Evil Remastered, which is not only coming out in a digital format, but is also getting a limited run release alongside the original Turret as well. Licked Spear is coming out on the Nintendo Switch, a Vita classic in my opinion, and Pix the Cat, a very cool Pac-Man-esque pattern-based, it's a weird game that's going to, oh my god, it looks fantastic. It's also coming out on the Nintendo Switch. But that rounds out this week's episode of The Drop. Of course, if you enjoyed it, drop me a like down below, and if you are brand new to the channel, consider clicking subscribe because I pump out new content throughout the week. I've got a podcast 5 days a week, the Jam Pack Report, which keeps you up to date and informed on the top gaming news. But until next time, you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. I will talk to you soon, and peace.